YouTube is filled with videos like 10 games critics love but fans hate it. But is that really the most interesting question on the topic? What about what game is the most hated by critics compared to the love given by the players? And yes, these numbers are real. And what game this is might surprise you. Now you might think, why am I watching a video about this and not just Google it? Well, that's because you can't. Let me explain. Sites like Metacritic have all the info we need. Metacritic has the critic score and also the user score. But we cannot sort the games according to both these metrics at the same time and going in opposite directions. In this situation, you need someone that knows web scraping, probably a programmer, and I have some good news. I'm confident that I can solve this task. My name is Daniel Bark, I'm a web developer from Sweden, and welcome to my channel. Also, like this video and subscribe to the channel for future videos. It's free and it helps a lot. Thank you. So as a web developer, you get some extra superpowers inside of the browser. You can automate browsers, you can download huge amounts of information really fast. The possibilities here are endless. Once I even tried to visit every single profile page on LinkedIn to see what would happen. But that did not end well. And you can check out that story if you want to. It's also linked in the description. But that's a side note. Now let's get to work. So my target for this would be Metacritic. It has a list of 20,000 games. I needed to get this list in my possession with all the data related to each game. If I had that data, the rest should be pretty easy. Metacritic divides this list into almost 200 pages. So doing this manually would be a lot of work, but not if you're a programmer. A programmer can just programmatically download the page, dig out the structured data in this HTML and store it in a database. You can think of the database as a huge Excel document, but a lot faster. So now let's get on with downloading these pages programmatically. I think we should try just downloading all the 200 pages in parallel and see what happens. Alright, so this does not work, and that is because when each page is being processed, it takes up a lot of memory because the data needs to be stored in variables. So you have to allocate memory to your program. I think a good solution to this would be to implement a worker pattern. So you have all your 200 pages in a queue, and you have a couple workers that can all take a page from the queue and finish processing that page and then look back at the queue and take a new page, and so on and so on. So the number of workers that we have will determine how many pages are being processed in parallel at any one time. Right now we can download 20,000 games in under a minute. I think that's good enough. Hopefully I have convinced you that programming is pretty cool and it's a very fun career. A final step is just looking through all the games and sorting them based on the difference between the user score and the critic score. And actually, now we have a winner. Drumroll, please. Shrek Super Party. So Shrek Super Party is a pretty old game, and from what I can tell, it's a complete Mario Party ripoff. So let's look into the reviews and see if we can understand why there is a huge gap between the critics and the players. So the critics say, do not pass go. Head directly to jail. It's bad, boring, and also bad. While the users respond with, somebody once told... Oh, okay. Someone just posted all the lyrics to All Star by Smash Mouth. I guess that's a valid review. The critics say you'll wake up the next morning with one hell of a gaming hangover and realize that what you thought was a good-looking game is an ugly dog that's puked on your Xbox. Trash. And the users, they counter with, this is possibly the second greatest game after Cory in the House. The minigames are excellent, graphically it's superb, and soundtrack is perfect. Mario Party should take lessons because this is how to make a proper party game. The critics though say Shrek is full of dull, poorly constructed rip-offs that get recycled several times. You'll be utterly bored after a few minutes with these creepy diversions. The users say, possibly the best game ever created, it should be mandatory for every sentient being on the planet to purchase and play this game for at least 23 hours per day. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. I hope you had really fun watching this video. Maybe you got some nice nostalgia. Definitely the clickbaited question was answered, and possibly you got inspired to try out programming maybe. I don't know what we should take away, but it was a fun programming challenge, and now I have a database of 20,000 games. Maybe that will come in useful someday. Take care, and I hope to see you in a future video. Shrek is love, Shrek is life.